Right now, there are about 3 years of your life that you will never remember. Not because nothing happened. Something happened every single day. You learned to walk. You learned to talk. You figured out from scratch how the entire world works. It was the most intense learning period of your whole life, and your brain kept almost none of it. Here's the part that should bother you. For 100 years, scientists thought they knew why. In 2025, that explanation fell apart. Try this right now. Think of your earliest memory, the very first one. Got it? Whatever it is, a birthday, a fall, a face, it's almost certainly from when you were 3 or 4 years old. For most people, that's the wall. Everything before it is just black. And this isn't a you problem. It happens to nearly every human on Earth. It's so universal that scientists gave it a name: infantile amnesia, the strange, shared, blank spot at the start of every single one of our lives. But you were just too young is not the real answer. The truth is so much weirder. Now here's what makes this a genuine mystery. Babies are not stupid. Far from it. In your first few years, your brain was on fire. You were absorbing a new language without a single lesson. You were learning faces, gravity, cause and effect, how to control your own body. Your brain was building more connections per second than it ever would again. So think about that. The period when you learned the most is the exact period you remember the least. That makes no sense. Why would evolution let you forget the most important learning years of your life? Scientists had a theory. A clean, convincing theory that everyone believed for decades. And I'll show you exactly why it was wrong. But to understand the twist, you first need to understand the old answer. The old explanation came down to one brain region: the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's save button. When something happens, the hippocampus is what files it away as a long-term memory. And the theory was simple. In babies, the hippocampus is still under construction. It's immature. So the idea was, the save button basically didn't work yet. No save button, no saved memories. Case closed. But there was more to it. 2 more forces were blamed. First, neurogenesis. In early childhood, your brain grows new neurons at an explosive rate. Sounds great, right? Except in experiments with young mice, all that new wiring seemed to overwrite older memories. Imagine writing a note, then immediately rebuilding the entire notebook around it. The note gets lost in the construction. Second, language. Before you had words, you had no story. Adult memories are basically little narratives. I did this, then that happened. But a 1-year-old has no words to build that story, and no stable sense of I to attach it to. No narrator, no narrative. 3 reasons. Immature save button. Memories overwritten. No words to hold them. For decades, that was the answer. It felt complete. And then a team at Yale decided to actually test it. Here's the problem scientists always faced. How do you ask a baby what it remembers? It can't talk. It can't fill out a survey. So for 100 years, nobody could look directly at what a baby's memory was actually doing. So in 2025, researchers Tristan Yates and Nick Turk-Brown did something incredibly difficult. They put awake babies into an fMRI brain scanner and watched the hippocampus in real time. They showed each baby new images, then later tested whether the baby recognized them. And the result broke the old theory wide open. When a baby's hippocampus lit up strongly while first seeing an image, that baby was far more likely to recognize it later. Starting around 1 year of age, the supposedly broken save button was working the whole time. Let that sink in. The memories were being recorded. The old story that babies simply can't form memories was wrong. Which leaves a much bigger, much creepier question. If your baby brain was recording, then where did all those memories go? This is where the science gets genuinely unsettling. The new idea is this: infantile amnesia might not be a recording problem at all. It might be a retrieval problem. In other words, the memories were saved. You just lost the key to open the file. And there's evidence for this from animal studies. In mice, scientists found those forgotten infant memories weren't actually erased. With the right trigger, a specific reminder, or even direct stimulation of the brain, the memories came back. They were never gone. They were locked. One of the Yale researchers even said something that sounds like science fiction, that these memories may quietly survive all the way into adulthood, still inside you, just permanently out of reach. So sit with that for a second. Your first steps, the first time you recognized your mother's face, your very first word, there's a real chance all of it is still stored somewhere in your brain right now, in a room you simply cannot walk into. And one last twist about that earliest memory you pictured at the start. There's a good chance it isn't even real. Researchers have found that our earliest memories are often reconstructions, stitched together from old photos, home videos, and stories your family told you so many times that your brain quietly turned them into a memory. It feels like you were there, but you might just be remembering the story of the memory. So no, your first 3 years aren't missing because nothing happened. And they're probably not missing because your brain failed to record them. They may be missing because they're locked away in a part of your mind you'll never get to visit. 3 of the most important years of your entire life, recorded in full and sealed shut. If a video like this makes your brain itch in the best way, that's exactly what this channel is for. Subscribe and stick around, because next time we're answering an even stranger question. What actually happens in your brain in the final seconds before you fall asleep?